In this video, I'm gonna show you a hidden gem that I believe has the probability to go 5 to 10x within the next few months. And I'm also gonna break down why that is. And if you haven't done so yet, make sure that you go ahead and you're subscribed to the channel with notifications, because I'm gonna try to release a video every single day finding hidden gems and what they actually do and why I believe that they are gems. And we'll also go ahead and review the gems that we've covered before and see how they're doing over time. Now, before I continue, one other thing is that I'm gonna put random letters like this right over here throughout the entire video, and it's gonna make a word. And that word, the first person who tweets me the entire word, who finds and puts together the entire word, I'm actually gonna be sending you 25 USDT. So what is this hidden gem exactly? Well, the hidden gem is known as blank. Now, some of you will say, well, Dan, you probably got this from somebody like Sheldon Evans, who posted this in his Patreon group. As a matter of fact, you're right, he did post that in his Patreon group, but I knew about blank beforehand, but I also went ahead and did more research after I read his write-up in his Patreon. Now, the reason why blank got me so intrigued is because of the aspect that Sheldon put, like the wording that he used and the use cases, the potential use cases as well, which I'll talk about in just a little bit. I won't say his use cases, but I'll tell you use cases that are more than likely going to happen. So with that being said, blank allows you, as they say right over here, reclaim privacy on your Ethereum transfers. So essentially, blank hides your financial data by mixing transfers with the pool of funds within blank, ensuring that outwards transfers remain anonymous. Your privacy level only goes up with each additional transfer inside. So if I'm going ahead and I'm sending money to somebody, what happens is, think about this. If I send money to you, all right, you're able to take a look at my wallet address and see how much money I have in my wallet address. But what happens if you don't know the origin wallet address, right? What happens if the origin wallet address isn't my particular address and it's just a bunch of transfers that are going in and out, and there's not via a smart contract, and there's not a balance in there because everybody grouped together is getting sent through that smart contract, sent through different addresses, all of that. So if we just take a look right over here, you can get a better idea. As you can see, connect your wallet, right? And what happens here, you essentially send a transaction. Let me go down here. This is it. So you and your deposit, you send, let's just say 10 Ether from your address. What happens here is a single blank smart contract combines all deposits from all blank users. So it essentially mixes it up. The origin deposit address is no longer clear. This is great. So every transfer exits under a blank identity. So essentially, if I were to send 10 Ether, it could be tracked back to like 5 different addresses, right? So, and those 5 addresses can also be mixed up with other transactions that have happened in the past before. So why is this important? Why is this something to gawk over, and why is this a hidden gem? Well, there's a few reasons why it's a hidden gem, and the very first one is we have to consider Metamask and we have to consider Trust Wallet. Now, Metamask, if you go and take a look at the Google extension store, it's over 3 million users, and with the rise of stuff like SafeMoon, a lot more users are adopting to it. Now, we also have to consider how big Uniswap is, right? So, and Trust Wallet has exploded, but Uniswap is massive. There are millions of users that use Uniswap. And again, what does that mean exactly? Well, nothing necessarily, but if you transfer a token to somebody else, or you transfer Ethereum to somebody else, they can directly see into your wallet. So you can actually see people's wallets. So let me just go ahead and do this. So I'm gonna open this up on Etherscan. So if I click on the 2 address, which I'm pretty sure is my address, yeah, 42, for this particular one. And just for the record, guys, one of the really smart things you can do is, if you're unsure about connecting your wallet to a website, you can go ahead and in Google Chrome, on this little thingy right over here, you can click on add, and you can add a new user. And each user can have its own MetaMask, just so you know. So this particular wallet is one that I use to connect to random stuff. But if we just take a look inside of the wallet, it has 8852. So if you take a look at the value, 8849, so it's just a few cents off. But we take a look at the tokens, and you can see that, you know, Safe Elon, I have this much, you know, in Safe Elon when I was trying out testing stuff. Don't yell at me, okay? But I use this wallet to go ahead. My friend told me a garbage coin to get into. I barely put anything in. I just wanted to see what would happen. And essentially, you can see right over here, Safe Elon. It tells you how much you have and what it's worth. So again, you don't really become anonymous at that point. Anybody can look into your wallet. If I transact with you, I'm able to take a look at what you have inside of your wallet. Now, what does this mean essentially for you, and why is this important for both of us? Well, let's just say we're trying to broker a deal for, maybe you want to sell me, so let's just say you want to sell me a Trezor, okay? So you want to go ahead and sell me a brand new one, and you're trying to sell it to me for $200, but I know that you can get them for 140, right? So, or I don't know that yet, but you say it's $200, okay? So I send you the $200, and now I know how much money is in your wallet because you sent me the address, but I can also see what you buy the Trezor for if you're transacting in bulk amount, right? I could see how much you're buying them for. And then I can also see what others are buying them for. So before I send you the money, I have to get your address, right? So I take a look at all the transactions, and if I see a lot of 200s, I'll say, okay, that's the actual price. But if I see like $140 down the line, I'm gonna ask you, hey, you're charging me 200, but everybody else is paying 140. You essentially just lost that money because the business deal isn't transparent. You have to hide that stuff, right? So with Blank, you can actually hide that. And now let's just say you're traveling. Let's just say you're traveling in Asia, and you go ahead and use your address or crypto to go ahead and pay for, I don't know, maybe a meal or an electronic, whatever it is that you're paying for. And you go ahead and you transact with your wallet, and let's just say you have $1 million in crypto in that wallet. Well, you become kind of a target because like a public safety issue, or more so a personal safety issue, because you never know the malicious intent of what people are trying to do. You could potentially be kidnapped and held for ransom until you give that money that's in your account, or not account, but your wallet, and it puts you at a big risk. And now with Blank, you're able to essentially just mix up the transactions so the origin address is not there. So this is important. Let me just kind of go through this. They are partnered with Tornado Cash. If you've never used Tornado Cash, I've personally never used Tornado Cash. So I actually have the Blank wallet because I asked them to be a beta tester, and I really like it. The UI is great, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Now, before we dive into the tokenomics, let me actually give you a comparison over here that they have between Metamask and Blank. As you can see, we have a referral system, which again doesn't really matter. Right over here, hidden history, which is great, which is Blank and Tornado Cash. Metamask doesn't offer that. Zero user tracking. Metamask does not offer that. Automatic deposits. Metamask doesn't offer that. There's no referral system and revenue sharing inside of Metamask either. So there's a lot of earnings potential aside from the actual wallet itself, which is really good. So they have some really big plans. You can take a look at goblank.io, but one of the really big contributing factors to every single major project that I invest in, and just for legal reasons, I own a lot of Blank. They've never given me anything. I have put in a lot of my profits from other alts that have done exceptionally well, and I have a very big bag of Blank on my Trezor. So again, just keep that in mind that I own Blank, and I could, if you buy it and the price goes up tremendously, I might go ahead and sell. I don't know what I'm selling. I might hold it between $20 and $30. So that might be about 1.5 years, 2 years maybe. So I like the fact that the team is public. The team being public is really good. Alexandros is very active in Telegram, and there's a group of 48,000 people in Telegram at the time of recording this. And Alexandros, the founder, is constantly in there asking or getting feedback and asking questions and whatnot, which is great. All right. So the team is phenomenal. They have partners that they've lined up already. And what you're able to do is take a look at the basic tokenomics here, which we'll go over right now. So the token name is Blank. So we have the private round and the public sale already that kind of went on. So we have marketing and listing, liquidation, adoption, incentive, team, advisors, development. You can go through this sheet if you go to goblank.io. But essentially, the total supply is 125 million. Now, this is going to be important when I talk about the current chart right over here and why it's down so much. This is going to be really important. So we have the private round that got in at 5 cents, and then the public sale was at 6 cents or 6.5 cents. Okay. Now, I want you to understand something when we talk about the chart right now. If I go and just take a look at when blank was launched, right? So we have this listed on CoinGecko, but again, you have to keep in mind it was listed at 6 cents and 5 cents for private. However, when it was listed on CoinGecko in March 2021, March 5th of 2021, it's at 197. Then it dropped down because always CoinGecko listing, we have that pump to 60 cents, 50 cents, and we've had like this slow climb. And then April 1st is when Sheldon Evans posted in his Patreon, and that's what really pumped it up because people were sharing it, people are buying, etc. Now, you have to understand this. Please get this. This is a mindset we're going to talk about in a little bit. Is that if you are a private round investor or a public sale investor, if you go from 5 cents to $5, that's 100x, right? 100x. Are you selling, right? Are you selling or holding? Well, listen, if I have 100x, that's what we all aim for, right? I'm selling. And this is what happens here. We have this 5x, we have a big sell, people buy in again, and then we have other investors that are just selling their positions and selling and selling and selling. Now, again, we're at $1.23 as of writing right now. People in the chat are going crazy, are kind of like losing it. They're annoyed. They're like, half of my portfolio, 60%, 80% is gone. You have to get something through your head right now. This is so early. We are early. The wallet isn't even available to the public yet. This is so early. As a matter of fact, I was talking to somebody who has a friend who invested in Chainlink at 50 cents in 2019. So 50 cents right over here, so around March or so. And then it went up from 50 cents to $3. Now, he could have sold. However, he held on for it for a year and a half, 2 years. It's now at $50. So these projects are always like this. They are down here, right? So let's just say we had early investors over here. Now they sold off over here. Where are we in this cycle exactly? Well, we're actually probably right around here, right? So we're looking at 3, 4, and then it drops down to 2, which we're seeing. And then over time, as the project gets built and more users get adopted to that product, it's gonna go up. As they continue their marketing and development, it's gonna go up. You have to be in it for the long term. You have to be in it for the long term. A lot of people came into this expecting to make overnight riches, but this particular hidden gem isn't overnight riches. Just like Chainlink, how you see the progression over time, same exact principle is gonna apply to blank. Now, they're not a one-to-one comparison. If you look at any chart of any solid project, you'll see the same exact pattern. They'll go ahead, be stable, dip a little bit, and over time, they just grow, all right? So keep that in mind. They're very active on Twitter. They're constantly putting out updates. I love that. I absolutely love that. And just for transparency purposes, you can see these are my holdings as of right now. I've invested 27,605 out of 14,000 tokens. And I dollar cost average my way in. Now, before I end this off, you have to grasp this last thing. It's called the law of intentionality. Growth doesn't just happen. We have to be intentional about it. And the sooner we make the transition to becoming intentional about growth, our particular growth, the better it becomes. The better it is, because growth compounds and accelerates as we remain intentional about it. Now, again, this is about self-growth, right? But when it comes down to the law of intentionality, growth doesn't just happen. The team has to keep developing. They need support and all of that. And we will grow as there's more use cases, as more people start using it, as more people want privacy, it's gonna keep on growing. So with that said, blank is a hidden gem. And we're gonna come back to this in maybe a year and a half. And I'm gonna show you, and I'm gonna go ahead and say, aha, I told you that this is a hidden gem. And this is one that you really wanna go ahead and make sure, not financial advice, but maybe you wanna go ahead and pick up a little bag of it. And if you haven't done so yet, make sure you click the subscribe button on the Hidden Gem Network. We're gonna go ahead and post more videos about hidden gems and why they're hidden gems and why we suggest going ahead and potentially investing after you do your own research. So with that being said, my name's Dan from the Hidden Gem Network, and I'll catch you soon.